This man, Bart Ehrman, is probably the top scholar skeptic on the New Testament that you'll find out there. He teaches at UNC Chapel Hill. He's actually a very good scholar when it comes to manuscript evidence. And he says this about the resurrection. You can show historically that people claim they saw Jesus alive afterwards. You can draw the conclusion that they probably believed it. But if you yourself agree that Jesus was raised from the dead, you are saying that was an act of God in history. What you are doing is no longer history, it's faith. All right. Now, what might you say to Dr. Ehrman here about this? What we call begging the question. In other words, he's trying to say that an historian can't discover if a miracle has occurred. Why not? Because we're supposed to assume that miracles don't occur. Well, the question is, why would you assume that? All right, why should you assume atheism? Maybe the best explanation is a miracle, given all the data. To philosophically rule it out in advance is a bias. It is a bias. In fact, one question you might ask him is, when he says what you're doing is no longer history, is faith, is what do you mean by faith? I submit to you that faith and reason are complementary. They're not contradictory. Faith and reason are complementary. They're not contradictory. First, what's our definition of faith? Faith is trusting in what you have good reason to believe is true. When Clint and I went to Alaska last week, we had good evidence that the plane was safe, that the pilots were trained, that ATC was going to get us there safely. But we didn't really trust in all that data until we got on the plane, right? You can know something's true and not trust in it. You know these chairs are going to hold you up. You were trusting that they would. You didn't even think about it when you sat down, but you had faith when you sat down. It's good. There's good evidence these chairs are going to hold us up, despite the fact that I just gained a few pounds, right? They're going to hold us up. So faith is trusting in what you have good evidence to believe. So if that's faith, to reason is to be rational. So what would be the opposite of reason? Would it be faith? To reason is to be rational. So what's the opposite of reason? Yes, the opposite of reason is irrationality. It's not faith. And to have faith is to trust. So the opposite of faith is to distrust. Right?